If you heard the governor's state of the state address, he made a commitment to Central California. I have a new colleague, Senator Hurtado, who that is her district, who educates us all about what her constituents and her community needs.
The Valley may be known around the world for agriculture, but there's another story ready to be told, a story of a region hungry for investment, a workforce eager for more training and good jobs, Californians that deserve a fair share of our state's prosperity.
We want to be able to take control over what happens to our regional economy, and Central Valley BizFed helps us do that.
It's an exciting day. The first time that BizFed Los Angeles, BizFed Central Valley came to Sacramento. We decided that it was time we got business owners of all sizes to come up and talk to our lawmakers.
What I'm asking is how you're framing and how are you looking at the needs of small business? Because that's 50% of our employment in the state.
We talked a lot about housing supply. So how are we going to build housing supply if businesses aren't involved in those solutions, working with local government and state government?
The governor talks about 3.5 million homes over the next decade above, which is about 3 times the level of production that we've got now. We need to dramatically increase the quantity of housing to help make it more affordable when we're here.
When it comes to the housing crisis that we do have, I mean, we have a serious supply and demand issue right now.
Part of that challenge is the regulatory requirements that are in our state. And one of those is a law called CEQA, the Environmental Quality Act. It's not that the requirements of CEQA in analyzing impacts of development are bad. They're all of them are good. But where it becomes more difficult is when an opponent uses that Environmental Quality Act, that CEQA requirement, as an element to go into court and try to stop a project.
CEQA is a very important law in terms of environmental protection, but CEQA also has been used to stop infill housing development in exactly the locations where we need housing. I think we need to have a conversation about how we ensure that CEQA does what it was intended to do without undermining environmentally sustainable infill housing, which what it sometimes is used or abused to do now.
I think it's really important that we, as legislators and policymakers, understand the impacts of the measures that we pass on all of our community, including, of course, our business community.
How do we get to a cleaner transportation sector?
Like a good part of the transportation emissions is also due to built environment. Like if you people commuting 3 hours to get to work because they can't afford housing near where they work, that impacts air quality. You know?
How do you build 3.5 million houses with the labor shortage that the construction industry is experiencing across the country?
We have to have different kinds of collaborations between employers, the workforce system, education, and labor unions to figure out how we actually get the kind of workers that we need who can do that work.
When LA and Central Valley does agree, now big power and numbers to deal with the state lawmakers. We will be heard. The economic outcomes will be positive.
I think about my role with the governor to help advise him and the other agencies of the state of California to help ensure that the California dream works for all Californians.
That's the value of BizFed because, we are businesses as a whole, but individually we represent so many different types of industries with a lot of technical expertise. So let us come to the table and we can help California get to where we all want it to be.